Space Pioneer suffers a setback. The ISS tests high-speed video communication. Ariane 6 readying for its maiden flight. Starbase continues its expansion. Lots of rocket launches this week. I'm Christophe Paget from All About Space, and this is your weekly space news bulletin. Space Pioneer is a Chinese space company developing reusable orbital rocket technology since 2019. It has been working on several iterations of its Tianlong rocket powered by kerosene and liquid oxygen to offer low-cost space launch services. June 30th, Space Pioneer was conducting a static test of its newly designed Tianlong 3, but unfortunately, the rocket took off by mistake up to a good 1 kilometer altitude at least, and fell back down within the exclusion zone, which luckily did not result in casualties. Space Pioneer are using hooks to hold the rocket down, as you can see on the pictures. Other providers, such as SpaceX, are using cables and weights to ensure the rocket does not take off, so that they do not need to have a very heavy and strong set of hooks being carried out by the rocket all the time. Nevertheless, some or all of the 9 Changhu 12 engines worked, producing up to 820 tons of thrust. The company was targeting a maiden launch in the next few months, but it would have to be delayed a little longer. NASA enhances its communication network to meet the challenges of deep space exploration. As NASA prepares to journey back to the moon with Artemis, the agency will introduce a concept of internet networks in space to connect astronauts to each other on the surface and researchers back on Earth. Whilst NASA explores new depths of the universe, data return requirements constantly grow as a result. The International Space Station team has started testing the high-rate laser communication on board with an advanced protocol called high-rate delay-tolerant networking, similar to that of the Internet, to increase data speed and reliability. The next step will be testing with the laser communications relay demonstrations, NASA's first ever optical communications relay satellite in orbit around Earth since 2021 to test in-space optical communications capabilities. NASA is now developing hardware to further increase data transmission speed, which will enable new types of space missions. Next week, on July 9th, Aeronautics shall launch Ariane 6 for the first time, so do tune in, and I will of course provide an update of this flight as it comes. The week at Starbase started with the arrival of 2 Mechazilla Towers 2 sections and arms transported from Florida. It joined the other sections, which are, by the way, being pre-fitted with more hardware before stacking them up, as it is much simpler to add pipes and stairs and many more items at a height of 10 meters rather than 100. Staying at the launch site, SpaceX has completed the removal of 3 vertical tanks. They are now gone and in pieces to leave room for more hardware to cover the propellant needs for rockets on both Mechazilla towers. In fact, we have also seen another horizontal tank delivered at the site to complement the many tanks already in place. The Tower 2 base is progressing. And now, in terms of IFT-5 preparation, the specimen B14.1 was used further this week to test the way SpaceX would catch the booster number 12 during its IFT-5 return to site, or another IFT. It looks like the Mechazilla arms have some inertia which needed to understand in order to master the catch. At the production site now, the Starship number 30 is having its thermal protection tiles replaced by more resilient ones, including its ablative layer. The office building is having further floors poured with concrete, and Starship number 31 has been shifted from the production site to the Massey site, expected to be in preparation for a static fire test. On September 8, 2016, the NASA OSIRIS-REX spacecraft was sent to meet an asteroid named Bennu, which it did on October 20th, 2020. The spacecraft was then capable of retrieving samples from the asteroid's surface and sending them back on Earth, which was successfully accomplished on September 24th, 2023. Since then, scientists have analyzed the samples in great detail and found that Bennu contains the original ingredients that formed our solar system. The asteroid's dust is rich on carbon and nitrogen, as well as organic compounds, all of which are essential components for life as we know it. The sample also contains magnesium sodium phosphate, which was a surprise to the researchers team because it wasn't seen in the remote sensing data collected by the spacecraft monitoring Bennu back in October 2020. Its presence in the sample hints that the asteroid could have been part of a long-gone, tiny, primitive ocean world. June 29th, SpaceX launched a military payload for its mission NROL 186 with a Falcon 9 out of California. The first stage landed for an 8th time on a drone ship. And on the same day, CASC launched a Long March 7A from China for its mission ChinaSat 3A. July the 1st, MHI launched its third H3 rocket for its JAXA mission ALOS 4 from Japan. This is the first successful operational flight of the H3, and JAXA expects up to 6 launches a year. July 3rd, SpaceX launched a Starlink batch for its mission group 8-9 from Florida. This was the 16th flight of the first stage, which landed on a drone ship. In summary, between January the 1st and July the 4th, 2024, 128 rockets were successfully launched, where 82 were from American companies, 29 from Chinese companies, and 3 from Japanese companies. Before I leave you, have a look at this hourglass-looking space beauty known as L1527, taken by the James Webb Space Telescope. It is a molecular cloud that harbors a protostar. It resides in the constellation Taurus, about 460 light-years from Earth, that is 4.3 quadrillion kilometers or 2.7 quadrillion miles. The more diffuse blue light in the image comes from organic compounds known as polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons, while the red at the center is an energized thick layer of gases and dust that surrounds the protostar. The region in between, which shows up in white, is a mixture of polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons, ionized gas, and other molecules. The protostar keeps growing, and once it finishes gathering mass, this impressive display will end and the star itself will become more apparent, even to our visible light telescopes. You can also see red, yellow, orange and blue, and even green stars and galaxies scattered across the background of this image, made of different materials. Thank you very much for watching this episode of All About Space. I'm Christophe Paget, and this is your weekly space news bulletin. Goodbye and have a great week.